Hello. Here is KF57, as usual with IA synthetic voice from my own human texts. I hope you understand this choice. You wait for it. Now time to explain you how to build your own railroad network. Our objective is to make a private branch to a new industrial area. First step, very important, you have to identify the place that force you to a specific altitude. Of course, the existing network junction you want is the first mandatory point. Others can be existing places you want to connect native map buildings, and like here a road with AI traffic. The connection point is okay, the switch is already installed. Let's focus on the road crossing. Many tests can be necessary to find the best solution. I say best solution because sometimes there is no good solution. Like here. Of course, if the road is not totally flat, longitudinal or transversal, the rail level versus the road level will vary along the crossing, causing derailments and collision. Okay, now my procedure to find the best solution. First, choose the best place to cross, and the good rail, straight or curve. To make a crossing, you must use a predefined rail, and level the terrain at an estimated good altitude where you have the rail installation point. Sometimes the terrain doesn't want to be flattened near existing elements. It can be a problem. Choose a place where you can level as you want. Be patient. You will probably need more than one attempt to find the correct height. This step is very important. Do it carefully. If you already have a good rail crossing, you can compare to have in memory a correct visual before installing the new one. The direction of the rail section is also important. You will have to connect this one with other existing of future networks. When you have the good altitude, you have to copy it at the other side of the road with the flatten tool. You will need it to install future rail on both sides. You must disable the auto-leveling function. You can check it with the cost of the rail. Before install it, the amount must be a rounded value. This have to be always disabled, but each time you change the menu you have to disable it again with the B key, and forgot this can cause definitive problems. Okay, after 10 minutes the first rail is installed. Now we will connect it with the existing network. I checked the altitude before, and the track will not be flat. To make a correct ramp, we need to flat a little area at both ends. And I advise you, when it is possible, to install a flat level track near every element you have to validate in terms of altitude, like road crossing, because visual is not enough to ensure good behavior with trains or vehicles. Checking in-game aspect is a good idea. Do it between each step. It can help you to design the track accordingly with the landscape and will give better integration. Now we will install the second flat section as say before. Don't forget to disable auto-leveling. I use this method to copy an existing rail orientation by superposition of an existing one. Now we make the inclination. After make a little flat section on both sides, we use the inclination tool. You right-click the goal, and then you maintain the left click during all the leveling process. It can be a very long click. Check the slope inclination during the process. 3% is the maximum for main tracks. Be sure you modify enough terrain, because it's difficult to correct a section locally. Most of time you need to redo the whole section. Next step is smoothing the terrain along the slope section. You will not be able to make this after installing the slope track. Absolutely avoid the path of the track to obtain a regular slope. Very important also, just make a smooth brush on the path to avoid a break in inclination. Just one small brush. Okay for installing the slope track. In fact, this item will strictly follow the terrain, like a fence. So the final result is directly linked to your terrain preparation along the path. Here I experience a lot of terrain possession problems. With some mods you can find on ModHub or other website, you can build on your terrain but also in every place of the map, but this is not the case with slope tracks considered as fences. Sometimes you can build but not terraform. So if you make a mistake, for example you forgot to disable auto-leveling function, you will not be able to undo. Please consider making a save action before any action not in your terrain. The problem here is that there is a little strip of terrain between the two fields. Often happens when you want to build between fields to save surface for farming activities. Exactly the same for track coming for the switch. Sorry, but I lost the rush of this track installation. It's the same as before. I advise you to buy all terrains in the area before starting track installation. Immediately after installation, we make a test with the worst possible case, the flat car with a load. If this one can travel in terms of stability, every else can. Have a look on strange bouncing and balancing movement, if not too important at 10 or 20 kilometers per hour, all okay. Special attention at the road crossing. Here I estimate the level is not okay. The flat car seems to climb on the road, which will provoke derailments, especially in case of snow. I have to correct it. I remove the previous track, increase a little bit the altitude of the terrain, copy it on the other side, I install the new rail. Notice that the terrain can be flattened under the second track. That's the reason I advise you to install the second one before the slope section, under which it's not possible to modify the terrain. Another test with the train, and now it's okay. After a rail test, a road test. Here the result is quite bad, I agree with this, but is not possible to improve it without having problems with train. You see here the difference between the two rails due to road slope. It's better to slow down when passing with a vehicle than derail with the train. Now the height of the crossing is validated. Let's modify the track to have a good transition. The second flat section will be removed, and the available space will be used to finish properly the job. Same steps as before, leveling both ends, make the slope, a little smooth brush, and installation of the track. Final test, all okay. Before ending the first part of the tutorial, the decoration of this line section. First, I remove the field's grass with a green brush. Very important to make all green near the track. After that, the ballast texture. In my opinion, there is no good ballast texture available. At an external view distance, most used when playing, the riverbed texture is quite okay. So I paint with it under the track and just around. During the game, your tires will get wet if you drive on the track with a vehicle. But you will not do that, obviously. Next step, put a lot of grass to cover empty areas. Prefer a high grass for first covering. and then put some little touches of small grass to make it more realistic. After that, install bushes and flowers. It's not here the good season to do this job. For first time, I advise you to make decoration during spring or summer. But as you know, I play on this game and I need this industrial branch now. It's a good idea to put some little bushes, then big one, and then correct with little ones to finish properly. This tutorial will continue on the next video. Please follow this channel to watch it. Tell me in the comments if you find this video useful and if helps you to start your railway network on Farming Simulator 25. And thanks to ZCAALOCK Railroad Mods. And thank you for watching to the end. You are still here. Okay, I leave you here with just a little view of the finished work in a few videos. Very good, isn't it? See you soon. Bye.